Okay, you lovely lot. You join us once again, the beautiful Hampton Springs, where
It's not very beautiful though, is it?
Well, no, we're supposed to be doing a beautiful, sort of like really warm spring catch, don't meat cock video, but wind's turned around 180 and it's gone blooming freezing. Jay Lad's had to put cup on because he can't chuck his meat nice and accurate enough.
Yeah.
But we're still getting a few bites, Jay Lad, didn't you?
We're still catching some fishies, but it's changed, hasn't it? Like, actually,
Ridiculous.
we sat here because it was lovely and calm and nice. But anyway, bloody blah, we're going to fish meat.
Yeah,
but
so obviously,
innit?
It's one of them baits, Jay, innit? This time of year, certainly when fish start thinking about spawning, which is next thing on the agenda, we are where we are, right at the end of April now. They need that extra bit of protein. So along the lines of worms and what have you, that proteiny bait, meat is another fantastic one.
It's a bait. I talked to lots of people about this.
Do you talk? You don't talk to lots of people.
I don't really. I'm
what line for?
But it's a salt content's massive as well. Do you know what I mean? I think the fish actively. Terry talks about it, doesn't he? A lot, Brett.
Yeah, he does.
Carpy fishing.
Yeah.
And there's certain times of year when they actively seek out certain minerals and whatever.
Yeah.
And salt is a very important one. I think that's a big influencing factor in them wanting meat. I mean, plus everyone eats it. Most fish eat it anyway, don't they? Especially in
Pretty
commercials.
much, yeah.
But we're going to talk about it a bit different. So it's not big carpy, short, late on meat like you fish at Laugh and places like that. It's became very, very popular and very important to be able to do. Again, the venues that we're very familiar with, Partridge and Ehrenbrook and a few others, that meat's a really, really important bait for F1s and everything now on the short line, isn't it?
100%.
Oh my God, it's horrible. But yeah, we got one.
Catch jump. I thought I was going to be a jumper then.
Yeah,
Catch
what I
jump
want to go through is the little importances because it's
yeah,
a thing that's very easy to get wrong.
Yeah.
Very, very easy to get wrong in terms of frustration, spoiling your peg, loads of little things.
I think that's why it does my head in.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
It's a one you can
missed bites
easily
is a
mess
one
things
for me.
up, innit?
Because obviously it's such a soft bait and obviously we're striking through, if you strike a little bit hard, it's fell off and then you got to come back and put another piece on and how
it's
light
just
it
weird,
falls. But it's great, obviously, skimmers, how they feed up and everything in it for like skimmers and bream, they love it.
Oh mate, it's
do silly
phenomenal.
weights with them, can't you?
It's not foul up, these just wrap round the fin. I should really use a puller, but my hands are cold and wet.
Go ahead, Jay lad, good scoopage, good scoopage.
He's a current.
Is it a popular?
He's a popular.
Got a few populars, haven't we, today?
Yeah. So he's in the mouth. In the mouth, but only like a 6 out of 10.
Ah, mate, you're not even getting that. Side mouth is 5. It's halfway. 5 out of 10.
In his tentacle.
3 at the bottom. Beautiful, though, Jay lad.
Lovely, lovely popular carpy. So
come on then.
Meat cock in the lovely summer 20 degrees weather.
Yeah.
But no, joking aside, it's not. I was a believer in that. I've got a wobbly box.
Yeah, I've got a wobbly box.
I've got a wobbly box. I've not done that very well today, have I?
Not saying nothing.
Should we stick with a wobbly box? See what happens?
Yeah.
No,
bit of excitement, innit, if he falls in, folks, you know what I mean?
I'm going to change it because you'll laugh at me if it falls in.
Would I do that, Jamie?
So, box sorted. Right. Meat. It's definitely not an instant thing, is it?
No.
That is the first thing you have to emphasise with it. Short is where it needs to be fished. 9 times out of 10. That's what we want to focus on this video. Which one am I looking at, Rich? That one? It's short. It's there. Yeah, bottom of the slope or towards the bottom of the slope. That's
so
where. Cause
you're priming it first, you mean? You're not.
Yeah.
You're starting elsewhere, priming it.
Oh, definitely. I'm starting my match doing whatever across. There can be a time when it's good across.
Yeah.
Whole new video I want to do on that.
Yeah,
Different thing altogether because the meat changes for doing that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about there.
Definitely.
Just fishing it on your short line, and I'm actually going to plumb up in a minute and go through what I'm looking at. Yeah. In fact, yeah, sort of. I'll show you how I'm going to plumb up anyway. It's fishing it on that short line, not on the ming, not on the flat bit, on the nasty bit. It's fishing it just out on the slope, so it's a hard bottom. Do you know what I mean, innit? It's not.
Not the what?
Not on the minging bit. Not on the silty, nasty bit.
That's
just
another one,
bit.
yeah, go ahead.
On that. That's where it needs to be fished, so you need to plumb up very, very accurately. The massive thing, shut up and be your attention,
Go on,
right,
Jay, lad, go on.
is timing and feeding it.
Yeah.
Huge. In that, unless it's a special day, they will not feed there early.
No.
Do you know what I mean? They don't want to feed in that way early, so it's the first thing when it comes to meat is how you prep your peg and the timing of it. So you're looking to catch last half of the match.
So, because there's so many different ways, like obviously throwing it, single throw, double throw, potting it. What?
Not about that. I'm on about the actual time you start feeding.
Oh, when you go. Oh, really? So you're not doing it from the start and priming
First
it?
2 hours, don't even look at it.
Oh, blooming heck, Jay. Is that what I've been going wrong?
Yeah, you don't want an accumulation of bait there because the fish aren't there, and it's a horrible, horrible bait for staying. It does not stay.
Because it's dead light and
whizzy
wacky.
all over the place, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Pain in the arse for staying where you want it to stay. Wants to go to the place. So it's a timing thing. When the fish want to come and feed, that's when you want to start prepping it slightly, not a lot. It amazes me how little bait it needs.
Because
You know
it's
what I
so
mean?
rich and packed and...
And as well, I think it's numbers of fish. You're not getting millions of fish in your bag.
No, it's the right kind of fish though,
It's
isn't
just the right big quality fish that you're just feeding 2 or 3 pieces,
Yeah.
just to grab their attention. When you go on it, you might only want like 20 pieces of meat to have been fed. Do you know what I mean? 20, maybe 30, but
That's
it might
definitely
be,
where I've been going wrong,
that
mate.
could be 10 lots of 3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That you just start that 15, 20 minutes before you go on it.
Yeah.
Time it is everything. When you start seeing signs of fish coming in the edge or people catching short, that's when you want to start prepping that meat line. Yeah, just a little tiny bit of meat, little 2 or 3 little pieces. Ideally, if you can throw them. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But putting that in maybe 6 or 7 times over, I might feed it for 20 minutes with, say, 10 lots of 3. So not a lot at all. You're just giving it that little tease every
I always
couple of
thought
minutes.
you'd just prime it from the start, Jay.
No, never, ever, ever,
Flipping
ever, ever.
heck.
Too much meat, too much mess going on.
Right, okay.
And always up that slope. So important. You
Yeah.
don't want them. You want them pimping,
Yeah.
single bubbles. You don't
Yeah.
want
Big eruptions. And
fizzings, nasty. A bit like this weather.
Yeah.
Just cold and
it's
horrible.
become
You shot.
ridiculous now, isn't it?
So meat anyway.
Yeah, talk us through preparation, mate, 'cause that's really important.
That's the one
innit?
next, isn't it?
Yeah,
Prep,
definitely.
huge. And
Like,
I've done
ridiculous.
2 types. Yeah, both of them single, straight out of tin. I use Asda meat.
Go on, as the meat.
I like
cock.
Asda meat for cubing.
Right, okay.
Yeah, not for mush, but for cubing, Asda meat's the one.
Right,
Or
okay.
for me, because I see it every time I go past it every Monday, so I buy it then.
As the meat cock and prime. That's
Yeah.
what you want to be on, Jay.
I don't, they never have the prime, and I've got 2 types here. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah, both of it's cubed in 5 mil. 5 mil? 5 mil? 4 mil? Don't know.
6 mil.
No, it's not massive. 5 mil it is.
5 mil.
Yeah, it's 4. Well, it all tells lies, doesn't it? But it might even be 4 mil.
Looks 6 to me.
I'm all confused, but it's little meat anyway. There you go. I'm going to say 5 mil.
Oh, you got little meat cock.
Little meat cock. Only, well, in this weather, definitely. And what I've got is me washed, me prepared, and me unwashed. Yeah?
Oh, you got to prepare your meat.
It's-
100%.
No one wants an unwashed meat.
You
do
don't
they?
want
But
unwashed meat.
sometimes you do.
It's mad the difference. Are you getting in on that, Richard? The difference?
Yeah,
Like,
can you see him? We're going
how
to do a
much
zoom in
fat's
on them.
that unprepared meat cock and how
Yeah, let me show you on
beautiful
that.
one
Look,
is.
there's me minging one. You can see him. And there's me clean one. Yeah.
It's mad,
And what,
isn't
it's a weird one, isn't it? I'm going to put them there because Richard's obviously going to want to zoom in on them in a minute. They're both important, or they can be.
it?
Yeah?
Oh, so you take both with you?
No, not. I'd like to know my venue and know how I'm going to feed it.
Right, okay.
If I want chaos and loads of fish and potentially shallow and madness,
You don't mind it straight out of the tin?
they love the problem is the fish love the fat. They love the nasty. It's the attractants. That's what it is. It's brilliant, but it's also a hindrance on many occasions. I mean, when you're catapulting it, not that we're doing that in this case,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
doing that just for messy minginess
Just
and
you
for
get
sync
odd
rate
clump
of your
and then
meat,
You get some going off at different
it's just messy, innit? Because it look, I don't even want to put my hand in it because it's covered in fat. It's minging and it makes it very neutral buoyancy. Do you know what I mean? Just the fat being in that meat
Yeah,
makes it sink really, really, really slowly. It loiters for a hell of a long time,
yeah.
but it has got all them attractants on it. So it's a tricky one. But I
Right,
also
get
think
you.
them attractants in meat, or the fat, do you know what I mean? That's what it is, the fat and the salt. Because it's all still in there, it's unwashed, it's all raw as.
Yeah.
It keeps like stuff up in the water. Do you know what I mean?
So
Not,
the
not
oils
necessarily the
right,
meat
and it's
floating.
coming into the scent kind of thing, you mean?
The fish can smell it all the way
Yeah,
through.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well,
that's
it's
a
mad
good-
when you put it on the water, the
Oh, well, it's
oil
just done
slick
it then.
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it just did it then.
It's a shame the wind's not going that way because we could have showed that, couldn't we?
It'll make it all
No,
flat.
yeah.
When it's nasty like that, when it's straight out of tin. I mean, it is right, it's good.
Yeah, yeah.
But particularly for F1s, which is what I'm emphasising on today for them type of venues, it makes them go crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so hard to keep them where you want them.
Right.
I mean, I want them to go to the bottom.
So that's why you come onto the meat you
I
prepare.
just
Talk us through how
rather-
you prepare it then, Jay, lad.
We've
We've
done
talked
this
about it
before
loads of
on
times,
there.
haven't we?
I think we did a spotted fin video on it once.
Definitely
years and
had
years ago,
questions
didn't
on
we?
this before.
It was a dead popular spotted fin one randomly. Who knows where that's gone? But anyway, preparing meat. Literally cube it up.
Yeah.
I put it in a bucket, however much meat I want. Night before. It's got to be night before. Tip a kettle on it, full kettle of water over it.
Boiling kettle,
Yeah,
yeah.
give it a stir. Want my water about that much.
You
above
are
the meat.
nails if you're going in boiling water
Not with
with
my
your
hand.
hand.
No, I've got a stick
Got a
of wood.
spatula.
I've
Got
got
a
a bit of wood
spatula.
and I wiggle it round. But anyway, leave that.
Yeah.
Leave it overnight.
Right, okay.
Because it's weird. You put the kettle on it, loads of the meat pops up. Weird.
Floaty meat?
Yeah, because
Right,
it
okay.
changes the fat a little bit, and what you're trying to do is dissolve the fat
Right.
to get the fat out of the meat. So it makes some of it float, but then if I leave it all night, I'll go in there the next morning, it's all rock solid on the bottom, and the water's all milky, but it'll have a bit of crap on top of the water as it cools.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the morning, put another kettle on it.
Exactly the same again, same process.
Exactly the same again. Don't drain the water off, just another kettle on, make it all red hot, really
Yeah,
warm again. Leave it 5 minutes so all the fat dissolves, so it just goes like liquid form. Tip it all off, rinse in a riddle, done. Yeah, and I end up with this, how I'm going to say this without you, Per, going on one, beautifully clean meat that is lovely
It
and
is, though.
nice.
The
Do you know what I mean?
difference is
It's
nuts,
nice. There's nothing left.
No. No.
Do you know what I mean?
I've got nothing left! Literally, it's all in that one, isn't it?
But there's no ming, is there? The
No.
water's even clean. Do you know what I mean? There's an
Let me
odd
get that
tiny bit of fat.
I'll touch your horrible meat cock. You know what I mean? With the difference
polling
in
way.
that. With all that, look at that on my hand.
It's
There's
the-
nothing on yours, is there?
Yeah, it's clean. And for when I'm
Imagine.
throwing it, it just makes it nice. I'm throwing pieces of meat instead of sloppy ming. It's not going all over my pole and making me not be able
Have you
to
still got
shit.
that nice smell, though?
Yeah, it still smells
Yeah, it
nice.
does.
It's still,
Yeah.
it just
Smells
doesn't
as
have
meat, then.
the level of attractance that that does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That is good, but it's for keeping them on the bottom. The amount of aggro it causes,
So would you ever go like 50-50 in mixing bowl? Is that just...
if you still have the mess.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd do that. I'd use it in raw form
Yeah.
when I went to places that are absolutely solid and really shallow, and I keep them there, like Forest Lane.
Right, okay, yeah.
Places like that when I want to just chuck bait in, they love the fat, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
You can go in this deep and catch a few, you can go on the bottom. Then, if I'm only after, again, we refer to it a lot, but partridge type meat fishing, and I want them to stay on the bottom, and I may only be after 10 fish in the last hour.
Right.
I mean, not a lot of fish,
Yeah,
10
yeah.
big 3-pound F1s, then big sexy ones maybe last hour. Maybe it might be different, but that's normally what I'm looking at, is just having a little nice run of
Right.
bonus big fish short on it.
That's interesting that you're leaving it so long before you're feeding it.
Oh, huge.
Rigs-wise then, Jay, lad,
huge.
what about rigs-wise you use for meat? Is there any differences, or is it mainly
So I'll go on to that next.
spready, or...
Yeah, I'm gonna,
Do rigs and then come plumb me up.
yeah,
plumb,
let's
plumb,
do that.
plums.
Let's do it in that order. So yeah, meat ready and prep's ready.
Yeah, I like that.
So that's what I've done.
So
I've fed
what
it
would
for
it
20
take the
minutes.
size is the size of the fish that you're after, pretty much.
Yeah, but it's nearly always
Would you,
the
ever,
same.
would you ever go to like 8mm meat cock and all that?
I
Or
have
is it
done for
mainly-
weird venues, but not.
It's normally
For
6
carp,
in
innit?
it, or 5s or 6s.
It's 4 or 5, innit? Never even 6 really.
I don't know if you use 4. 4's tiny, mate, isn't it?
I don't know. They look like 4mm pellets, don't they? 4 or 5, whatever's in my cutter. Who knows? Just little, but looks right for an F1, innit? It's the
Oh,
same
yeah,
size
yeah.
that everyone
Perfect.
uses, that size.
Yeah,
Yeah, keep
definitely.
that nice.
Definitely.
Right, let me just chuck some in so we get a bite when we actually go in. Oh,
Go on, Jay, lad.
just loose fed it all over me.
Meat cock.
Don't know if that's in the right place, but we'll have a look. Right, riggy bit then. I'm not going to go into elastics.
Whatever you're fishing for,
It
innit,
depends
really?
on venue,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Today's case, I've got 12 to 14
Yeah.
because it gets job done, pulls them out my peg, or 1.8 mil. I want to
Yeah.
do the mils with slip
Go on the mill.
and hybrids because it makes more sense. 1.8, I might go lighter, I might go heavier. All depends on venue, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just suited to the rig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Line 014 to 016.
Yeah.
Decent hook length. I want to get him in quick.
What are you on, 4-inch hook length?
4-inch hook length with that one. I want to get him in quick. Size of hook, massive. Massive,
okay, go
massive,
ahead.
massive. No little fannying about hooks. Minimum
So-
16.
Des got this into my head when
Oh.
when we did that one with him, Rich, remember? He's like massive hooks, like
Yeah.
10s, 12s hooks and a little bit of meat.
That, yeah, different for carp involved, yes.
Yeah.
For F1s, 14 happily.
Right.
Maybe a 16 if it's proper. Like today we're catching some skimmers.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
little skimmers, but 16 utter bare minimum, and a big 16 as well. Not a little
Right.
tiny 16. It's bare minimum.
Right.
14 more than happy. Even a 12 for me. For still for F1s.
Yeah.
Keeping on.
Yeah.
It's all about keeping that flipping
I
soft.
think that's what's done my head in, cause I've always like 18s hooks
yeah,
and
you're
all that, they
fishing a
just
little
fall
hook,
off.
it just rips it
Oh,
off.
it does my head.
Well, that's again huge emphasis on meat is keeping it on. It's a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
So you're on your hook to help keep
I've
it on.
noticed when you're striking, it's little lifts and...
When we do it, but yeah.
You were
Yeah,
Joe
dead
Love.
similar. Rig wise again, I'm trying to catch him on the bottom.
Yeah, so, right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, really simple. In this case, I've got one of our Section U floats on.
Yeah.
In that case, that's a thingy, a slim. What's that one referred to? Slim carbon. No, let me talk about that top end first. In this case, got a 0.4 with the depth, because I've got what? 4.5 foot.
Like 414s, 0.4.
Yeah, 4.14s,
Similar.
4.16s. If
Yeah.
anything below 3.5 foot, I'd use a 4.12s.
Right.
Fall's important, so you want a nice, today with a bit of wind, bit more depth. Anything above 4 foot, yeah, 4.14s,
Yeah.
0.4. Below it, 4.12s, 0.2.
You
sort
were
of thing.
Joe Love.
Yeah, shot in, mega simple. Yeah, I've literally got 2 number 10s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then spread number 9s above it. So I've got 4 number 9s, 2 number 10s spread above it.
That's just bringing it nice and
Just
slow.
lovely, innit?
Yeah, I like
Do you know
that.
what I mean? Not a lot of shots. It's going to come in nice. I'm not expecting, it's not a million fish in me peg. I want my rig to go in nice at bottom end, them to see it, get a bite.
Yeah.
Because it's a very much a rotation thing, where you don't go on it and clatter them, you go on it and catch 2. And then you come off it and you prep it again. And you go on it, catch 3.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing, very cat and mousey. So you want your rig to look nice.
Love that.
Because you often get them as you put it in nice, and that's when they have it.
He's on. Yeah.
So yeah, fairly nice fall. I'm sure that number 10's about to pop on.
Get it bit on, J lad.
Get him on. So yeah, 2 number 10s,
Yeah.
in this case 4 number 9s above it. Very similar soft pellety.
Yeah, yeah,
Very standard to what we always do, but a little bit of finesse with the 10s. It just does come in nice. Let's say 4B, 14s, 0.4, whatever. Yeah, I blacked them up. Bristles important. Yeah,
Right.
light bristles. The more resistance that they feel, the more. You know what I mean? I'd never use a 2 mil bristle with it. Yeah, I want
Right.
solid bristles, or with this case, I've got a 1.7 or a 1.5. Nice, delicate bristles, just so you can see what's going on, and the bites are very distinguishable from your liners. Yeah, and a bit of bristle out as well. It's finesse.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and the most important thing of all, little lash. 8-inch lash.
Right.
Yeah, nice little short lash between me flip me pole. Still comfortable enough to hold in the wind. So I've not got a stupid little 3-inch lash or nothing like that, because I've got a bit of wind and I want to hold it still. I mean, 8-inch, perfect.
There's
But
nothing
so
quite
important.
like meat bites, is it?
Just nice.
Cock
But
bites,
they're a pain in the arse meat bites, because they're so good.
Yeah.
If you have a big lash, yeah.
Yes, Jamie.
Anything above,
If
do you know
you're
what I mean?
lucky enough, yes. Go ahead. Go on.
This
We're
is
on
just
it.
that-
We're
the
on it.
whatever I'm going to say is not going to go well here. Do you know what I mean? You're looking at 10, 12, 14, 15 inch. If you have a big lash, 15 inch, really big one, behave yourself.
Yeah.
You have to strike too hard, because it goes so fast. The time you've moved your pole to move your float, you whack your bait off all the time.
Yeah.
You're a dick, honest to God. So,
Yeah, no,
just like a little kid.
Again, that's where I've come and stuck in the past. I always have a longer bit of line on, just miss everything going.
because it
Baits
makes
come
you
on.
go.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
Yeah.
it's all right with pellets because you're back in.
Yeah.
But with meat, you're going to see how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So
I want to
keep
see
it
how
nice.
you're hooking your meat cock as well.
Hooking my
I
meat
think
cock?
that's important. You
So
know what
I want
Where
to
you go
plumb it
right
up
through the
first.
middle, or you nick it through the edge.
Right, plumbing up, Andrew.
Plummy,
very
plum. Do you want to press this
important bit.
Richard? Yeah.
Push the button. So get
Push
pole
it
back on
on,
roller.
baby.
This lovely warm. I'm going to cup some bait in while I'm doing this,
Go on, mate.
just to cheat and get some fish in my bag,
Get
just so these lot can see me get a bite.
prepared.
Just so I'm accurate, because I've not fed it for 3 flipping months. It's a bit different here because there's many fishies and they're starving, so we can get it in. Right, forget about that. Right, plumbing up.
Yeah.
Again, it's not snake lakey, we're obviously on an open watery thing. But what I'm on is this slope. Yeah,
Yeah.
so out there you can see, bottom of the slope's out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where the ming is, that's where the bubbles are, that's where the silt
Go on,
is out there.
Ming. Yeah.
Yeah, and all I've done is just come back a bit. So I've come back lovely, so I'm just on my join,
Yeah.
and I want to be really dead depth on this.
Oh, really?
Like really dead depth, so same as just see me body, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because bites are so poo on it. Yeah, I need them to be magnified, I need them to look good.
Right.
So that's where I'm plumbing to there, yeah? I've got my little spot, a little bit further. See it goes down a bit, a little
Sniffing
bit
up a bit.
again. So I've still got a bit of an incline.
Yeah.
So there's no silt, or very little silt there.
No Ming, J lad.
No minging.
That's your new one, that.
I don't know if I've lost a shot.
Lighthouse.
reckon
Woo!
I've
Watch
lost
the
a shot.
rocks.
I'm gonna
Might
ping
be.
him.
Leave it on. Go on, it'd be a laugh.
No, it just sat up a bit then
This
and
is
didn't
how
look right.
Jamie shots his floats. Go on. See your eyes are going to something, mate. Be right.
No, I'm going to leave it because I can't
Yes.
remember. So, yes, it's been prepped and all of that,
Yeah.
as we need it. In this case, I put a 16 on. 'cause we're
Right.
gonna catch
How
some
do you
little
hook
fish.
your meat?
What am I
Go-
showing, Rich? You or them? It's your GoPro, so I'm hooking it, get a nice sexy piece that's not rough. Yeah, like, oh, that is a rough one, but like that. In there,
Yeah.
wiggle it round, like that.
All right. Yeah.
Nothing fancy, just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Because it rips through lovely, but you need the point above the meat. Yeah?
I know.
Bait balls all
It was going
squished.
Point above the meat. Right. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, above the meat. Yeah, so got my meat on, all good to go. I've got that bait I've just fed. Am I going to go straight on that? No, I'm going to feed a tiny bit. So to start with a cup with me clean meat. Yeah, you see,
Yeah.
I pick it out. It's nice and clean. Every go, look.
Not your
No
dirty
ming
meat,
on my
clean
hands.
meat.
Nice.
No, it's nice.
Clean, polished, well washed, and hardly any. Yeah, I'm going to put 5 or 6 pieces in. Peria, absolute filth. So take time, nice and tidy. Don't want to drop any meat anywhere. Flick me rig past.
Is that important then, what you're doing? Yeah, flicking it past or
Flicking it past, let it fall, get me meat in quick as, because it takes
like
a
to
long
flick your
time
meat
to
past?
sink. Yeah, honest to God. And then I'm holding it, letting
Holding
it
your
all
meat?
sink. Just honest to God, you're
And
like
then-
children up here. Yeah.
you just drop your meat in there, Jay?
Just drop me meat in edge. But I'm holding it right on the joint of my pole. Yeah, and it just all sinks lovely and falls onto that slope, yeah?
Oh,
Can't
how
be
good
more
was that
beautiful
bite?
than that. Yeah, but it's all lovely, tight, neat, perfect. How we want it to be.
that fish loved your meat, Carl.
He loved meat, but I'm not fed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What are you lying
People
for?
get into the habit of hooking a fish and
Just see you
feeding
put
on
some
it.
in. What are you lying for?
No, I haven't fed after I've hooked my fish.
No. Oh, mate, yeah, so that's me right over.
You're
I'm
straight
like,
over it.
I'm double handful in
Yeah,
like
and
10 or 12 in me,
You're
Jay.
sending them too scatty straight away.
Right.
So I don't need to do that. I just want to nail this one with horrendous netting. I'm cold. It'll be 10 out of 10. I'm not even seen it yet, but it's going to happen because that was all perfect.
It was beautiful, that bite, mate. I'll
Did
give
you like
that.
it?
Lovely.
Oh, he's a 8 out of 9 out of
Nice
10.
9, mate. Definitely.
He's a 9 out of 10.
Love
Like that.
Jay.
I'm liking little landing net poles at the minute. I've like changed.
Oh, right, okay.
Used to like a
No,
big
you've
long
got another
landing net
section on
pole.
that, haven't you?
I like the 3 metre one now.
Go ahead, Jay, lad.
Anyway, slap my meat on again. Always look like
You're
uniform
going to
meat.
feed this time, though, aren't you? But through a
I'm
pot.
going to feed again when we pot this
If
time.
the wind was better, would you be loose feeding?
I'd start throwing, maybe if I needed to.
But you don't. So, oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it's the mentality. So I'm not feeding much, I'm putting like half a dozen pieces in.
Yeah.
Or 8 I've put in there. So very little amounts of meat. But it's that timing of getting it in. Yeah, because I don't want them to come up. If I start making noise, meat is very similar to maggots in that it takes 3.5 months to sink.
Yeah.
Yeah? Even though I've prepped it to make it sink as good as it can, it still takes a hell of a long time to sink.
Yeah.
So in 4.5 foot like we've got today, they've got a hell of a long time to intercept it. See, I'm not holding my float out.
Yeah.
I'm holding it up, but not out, because I
Yeah.
want it to fall on a tight line. Yeah, if I hold it out, then I'll end up with a slack bit and my curve won't be right.
Go on a cave.
And
Oh,
so
this,
that
I
little,
definitely know what I've been going on, mate.
what I want to do is have some bites that I miss, so you can see how little the movement is on my float, because it's about keeping that meat on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just missed it, straight back in.
That looked like a proper bite I just had before, though.
Yeah?
Do you think it was? And that's
I
how
don't know
quick
if
the
there's
had
a
you?
roach on the end of that. See how it's still... No, it's just wafted it. But that's one,
That's one
whizzing
there,
through the meat on the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's looking for signs like that, because that meat hadn't hit the bottom then and a fish flew through it. I've only put 8 in a cup,
Yeah.
so none of that could have got to the bottom. So it's trying to work out how many fish in my peg as to how much I feed. Yeah, and I do not want to start throwing it if they're doing things like that, because they're just never going to get to the bottom.
Right.
Yeah, the meat's going to be, the fish are going to be everywhere because they can nail that meat before it gets to the
Is it
depth.
going to be a depth thing for you then as well? If you had like
It's a
6
on the
foot
day
plus,
thing.
would you?
Yeah, it's
Would
on
you-
the day, depends how many are in your peg. I say the normal world in a match, we're fishing for 10 to 20 fish on a good day. Yeah, so you don't have as many problems of fish intercepting it.
Yeah.
Today we're pleasure fishing on a solid lake on our own.
Yeah.
It'll be a bit of a tricky one, we get a lot of fish in the peg.
Oh, so I suppose obviously having anglers on angling pressure, that depletes
Yeah,
the
it
fish a bit, doesn't it?
Calms
So
it
don't
down
mind
a bit.
about
This is a
depth.
bit of an extreme situation, this, isn't it?
Good.
So I'm sat, lovely patient, odd little indication, but nothing to strike at yet. But as soon as I do, all they're going to get is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's straight back in. Yeah, and it's until my float starts sitting funny,
Yeah.
like maybe starts sitting up a bit, maybe that's this one, that I know I've pulled it up the slope a bit too far and I'll relay me rig. Yeah, you normally get 1 or 2 lifts out of it. See, I'm pulling my float to the side.
Yeah.
That's to tighten it all up again so I'm in contact with me bait. But what I think, see how I've had an indication as soon as I fed
Yeah.
and then nothing. My bait didn't get to the bottom. Didn't get to the bottom. None of my feed got to the bottom. That
Literally
cast.
been nailed on the drop.
Yeah. So I'm going to give this 10 more seconds. If I don't get a bite, I'm going to come back in and next time I'm going to feed double. I mean, I'm going to feed like 12, 15 pieces of meat.
Just try and force them to the bottom.
Just to get some to the bottom.
Yeah.
Because some of it's going to get eaten. So naturally, I want to get it to the bottom, but it's working out what's in my peg. Maybe that's why I'm not getting one, because I've got no bait on. But it's working out what's in my peg and how much bait I need to feed in relation to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is getting double, this is getting 10 pieces, 12 pieces. Just to try and get some, but no noise of the throwing. That comes into it in a bit. Oh, I've lost 4 then.
Lost 2 of your meat cock.
Yeah, they fell out. Should have put lid on. But yeah, putting it to the water, getting it down, no patter, patter, patter. Yeah, so say float in, hold it tight. So it falls against that slope lovely. And often you get a pull on the way down there because it sinks so nicely in that bottom edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that indication again?
Yeah.
That's a fish eating me loose feed on the way down. Yeah, not eating mine. That's liners on the way down, that is. So nice, patient. Hopefully some of that's got to the bottom. So you can see indications all the time.
Indications, aren't you?
Yeah, them fish wanting to be. See a little lift, that's all I'm after. And that big hook as well keeps it on. I mean, you're not just nicking it. Oh, that was on there.
Bumpy bump bump.
Bump, bump. Me not paying attention, that. So at this point now, I might throw some. Yeah, just to get some more bait in my peg, because I've had sort of 2 indications, not caught one. Just bump one then. That many indications that I've had on my float,
Yeah.
they've eaten all that meat. Do you mean the way I'm looking at it, if mine's been touched 3 or 4 times already, then surely the other 10 or 12 have been eaten. I knew that would start you both off.
Just the 3 or 4 times. Right, yeah, different species as well, though, isn't it?
This is skin bob.
Skimmery bobs.
Nice, slow, delicate. I think that's what we have got here. There's a lot of different fish.
But it's like these fish. These what make the blooming. How many matches have you won and lost by catching these? You know what I mean?
The adult. But see, same again, perfect. Because everything's tight.
Oh, beautiful.
Look at him.
Beautiful.
Everything's tight. Little lifts and all of that.
Very tight.
It doesn't get any better than that. Slimy skin the poppadoms.
Love it, Jay.
But right, we're going to do things potentially a bit wrong. So what I want to try, I mean, it might not, I'm saying wrong, it all depends on what mood and how many fish in your peg.
Yeah.
Because loose feed, when there's only a few fish in your peg, it's going to send them very scatty.
Right, yeah.
But what it could do, because there's a lot of fish here, a lot of little mouths, is if I start loose feeding, it might bring 1 million into my peg and create more competition and make them easier to catch. So it could go either way, so I'm going to try. So what I'm going to do, double my feed again, say 15, 20.
Go on.
Get quite a bit of meat, clean meat. Yeah, all nice, makes it easier to throw. Chuck it out, see how lovely it groups. Because it's clean. Yeah, if you try and do that with the slobberdon meat, it doesn't happen, it's horrible.
Up in it and everything.
Yeah, so I'm going to whiz out now over meat that I've just thrown.
So obviously you're looking for signs and everything like that now, aren't you, on your float? And
just see what goes on. See if that amount of meat going in gets some to the bottom, which is what I'm hoping for. It might not, it might be that they all come shallow and then I've got to fish shallow, but so this situation's a bit different. There's lots. Yeah, in a normal situation, what I'm trying to put across, things you're looking at to understand how you need to feed. Yeah, because obviously throwing's great if you need to attract them into your peg and if you can control them. Yeah, but it can also be the worst thing in the world. Yeah, if you start throwing it and it's not nice, that would better. Oh. And it was no aggro.
Are you throwing again now? When
I'm not going to now. Just this cast, I'm not going to. I don't want to. I don't want to get into that yet. No, not yet. No, not until I feel I need to.
So if you're like another 2 or 3 like this, you'd like potentially do it?
No, because it's not. Nothing's wrong. Do you mean with what I did then? It was right. I went in, I fed, I got a bite, and it was clean, no aggro. So why change something? Why start feeding now? As soon as I've hooked one, when what I'm doing's right.
I know, mate.
You with me? Don't just do things because you feel like it. It's never about you. It's them.
It's all about them blooming fish, innit, Jay?
It's all about them. That's a weird 10 out of 10. I know he's right. He's 10 out of 10.
No, he is 10. Yeah, 10.
Yeah, weird one.
Lad. Lovely.
So I'm going to feed over my float just so I'm really accurate. Because I don't like feeding when my rig is in the water if I'm fishing in white water. So today I've actually gone in line with a reflection on the lake.
All right.
So I've got something I can feed against. Yeah. So a bit short, didn't like that. Horrendous. Give me again. That wasn't nice. The last lot were beautiful. That was horrendous. So I've thrown that 10 seconds later than I did last time. Yeah. As in I've thrown over my float, mainly for accuracy, but I've thrown that. And by leaving me rig in, it shows me how many indications I'm getting on the way down. Yeah. I see how it's wobbling a little bit. I'm getting an odd little wibbly woo, but not loads. Not silly, it's quite nice. So hopefully I can still sit there and get a bite. The only thing I'm not happy about them was my inaccuracy. But I'm blaming me being flipping freezing. So I'm going to leave it. I should still get a bite. And what I can do, I could even alternate between the two. I mean, throw it now and again, swap to a cup. So, do you know what I mean? There's not one way of feeding. It depends how many fish in your bag, what you're looking at. It's basic fishing, innit?
Yeah.
But meat is a pain in the arse for it because of its slow fall rate and because they don't eat loads of it. I mean, it's a filling bait, innit? You're having a flipping little steak every time you eat a lump. So if you've only got a few fish in your peg, 1 or 2 fish in the peg, that's where their problems come in. If you feeding your peg from the start, if you're not on many fish, by the time you go on it and then fish have arrived, you might have fed a flipping pint. That's a lot of cubes of meat. That's 300 cubes of meat, isn't it, a pint? You having that?
It is.
Too much.
Yeah, very rich.
A lot of, do you know what I mean? If you're feeding 10 at a time,
Yeah.
and you fed that 30 times before you go on it,
Yeah.
it's a lot
That's
of
exactly
morsels.
what I've been doing, 100%. Ruining it in one.
Yeah.
Oh, 30.
It just gives them too much, and it's wafted all over the place. It's moved all over your peg. It's just hard to catch on. I'm so deliberate with the little lifts, and you know which ones you're going to hook as well. Like, you know when you're going to hook one. You get your little lift, nothing on. So that took a bit longer to get a bite then. Yeah, so now I'm going to feed a bit earlier. I'm going to land my fish and then feed.
Right.
Yeah, and see.
Just so that bait's on the bottom when you go out there.
Just to see what's right, yeah.
Yeah.
So my rig was among the scattiness then. So because of it, I was missing a few bites. Oh, he's a little tiny one.
Oh. So many fish in there, isn't there?
Like them.
Oh, look, baby mirror.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay, lad.
You're like a little carp.
Oh.
So, I'm gonna hook me meat. Feed me bait. 8, 10, 15, 10. I feel like 15's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now me fishing in me peg, I reckon. Half of them are getting eaten. That
Yeah.
were better.
That was lovely,
Half
that.
of them are getting eaten. It's paying attention to throwing as well, innit?
Yeah,
It's not being...
definitely.
when you rush it and you're scatty,
Yeah, not just hoofing
that's
it
when
in.
you throw badly, innit? Just
Yeah.
take your time and... That is beautiful, perfect. Plonk him in. So just let it fall of its own accord, that last bottom end. You can see them last couple of shot coming in just like lovely. You can see why plumbing up to nearly dead depth's so important as well, for them little indications. Because I don't know how they do it, whether they nail meat or whether they're quite sucky blowy with it like they are pellets. You can imagine them being like that with meat, because it's, oh, just behave. Oh, no, it's... See how it's took even longer for something to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to worry there's not enough fish in my peg now. Yeah? So I might go back to loose feeding a bit more regularly to get some fish in my peg, but with tiny amounts. Go to that 2 or 3 that was on about before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was getting a bit giddy with all that bait, because this time I fed and literally there's hardly any indications. Which if I get one now, I'll be happy, but if not, I'm going to loose feed a little bit more regularly with tiny amounts just to draw fish in.
Yeah.
Because they want that bait falling through the water, the bit of noise, same as anything. You need to regulate what you're doing, how you're putting it in, what every single cast is sort of different. Just to work out what the little buggers are doing. And it could even be a rotation thing, like I said, it often is when it's patient.
About that before, didn't you? Yeah,
oh mate, you prep it, you get them there, you clatter a couple, and then you have to come off it.
Yeah.
Massive, massive, massive thing for that. So there's nothing in my peg now, like really nothing. That hasn't moved this cast. And I know that I've just fed 15 pieces of meat, that 90% of that's probably got to the bottom. So the last thing I want to do is put another 15 over the top. 3 or 4, fairly close. I can see what's happening. So maybe attract fish. See a little indication then?
Yeah.
So there's still an odd one in my peg. So nice to see there was nothing, and then throw 3 or 4 and it makes one whiz in.
Just that noise, innit? Just like attracts fish.
And how slow it falls.
Yeah.
It just draws one in, and hopefully it'll go down and then we'll get a bite. It's just being patient. So it's definitely one in my peg now. So everything's lovely still, nice, tight. I'll drop my meat. There he is. No, that one didn't go down, so I'm going to feed another 4 or 5.
Yeah, I reckon another feed.
Go.
See,
So
that went
eventually
right
it's
down
come
when
in.
you meat then, didn't it, after that, when you fed it?
But what I'll do this cast is go back to cupping now and keep it really accurate, because I'm starting to feel there's not many fish in my peg.
So we need to get them right, going homing in right on your meat.
No little carpies, no F1's feeding.
Lots of little carpies, isn't there?
Loads and loads of little carpies.
Beautiful.
Every single one is bang on.
10 out of 10, every one.
Yeah,
Mate.
all of them are bang on, which means I'm really happy because I'm striking at the right bites.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and you're striking when you're seeing it. So very last one, Nick, one more. And you can go get a fish finger sandwich.
Oh, go on a fish finger. Go on the Chonlons of Lily Arms.
And I'm going to feed, not loads, I'm going to cut back this time to sort of half dozen again.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because just regulate it to your bites. I like this type of fishing where every cast is thought about.
I don't.
Yeah,
I just like Willie.
but it is, you've got to be, yeah, you've got to think about it more, haven't you?
You know what I'm like in that respect. Hate it.
Yeah, it's why it's such a tricky method, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you do just pick up that 20 and throw it in after you hook a fish every go, like you do with maggots in the winter, you're not looking after your peg, you're not doing what the fish are telling you they want. And you definitely don't catch as many as you should. Let's see what this is. That's nice. I've cupped in 6. That was better. Should have looked at that. That were a bite.
As well, that, wasn't it?
Yeah. So hopefully, because I've not nailed it, that little lash, we back shot halfway as well to keep half of it tight straight away.
Yeah.
You're looking after your meat. I mean, you're keeping it on your hook. You're doing everything you can to keep it on to remain efficient. Come on.
Definitely going to look after my meat in future, Rich. You?
Oh yeah, have you been neglecting your meat a bit?
I have. I'm going to give it regular washes.
Oh dear. It's the first video we've ever done that has to go out after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I think Rich will be doing a lot of editing for this one, the CEO. Come on, Jay, lad.
See, nothing happened. Want to feed again?
But again, when you put that meat in through the pot, it definitely brought fish in, didn't it? They followed it down. We've had a couple of indications, or, as Alan would say, indications. Haven't you?
Yeah.
That's it. Interesting to see what happens, isn't it?
See what there's. Every time you throw or cup, see something little happens like that. Because they're definitely some fish off the bottom, but I don't feel like there's loads. Yeah, what's probably happened
is... You'd get more commotion, wouldn't you?
Yeah, with the species I've been catching as well, I bet you.
Them scatty little baby carps, aren't they?
But I think they're on the bottom. I think F1s are above them.
Right.
Yeah, so today is a bit different. There's a lot of fish in here. So I laid that in again because I'd lifted it 2 or 3 times and I thought it's not going to be right.
Beautiful.
Like that, keep it nice. And the last one, this is going to go straight in with an 8-pounder. So that's what, again, not today, but what it definitely is at other venues is a massively good way of picking out bigger fish in it.
Yeah.
I mean, dead similar to hard pellets. If carp are going to feed, they eat meat or hard pellets. That's what they do.
So if it was big carp then, would you go more selective, or if it's
big carp are just different.
Carp, would you just stick to like the 6 mil and that?
Normally, yeah, but it's more about setting traps with big carp in it. Is that better?
Beautiful.
Nice,
and that was on, literally. I bet that meat had just got to the bottom.
Oh, proper, just sexy. It's watched it, hasn't it? Told you I was hooking an 8-pounder this cast.
That's £10. That's 10 out of 10 as well.
You like that?
Can't you?
But lovely, controlled, nice. No whacking, no windmill. Just everything's delicate and lovely in it.
Yeah.
Hey, I've talked that one on. I swear to God, I've not even
it is a carp as well,
talked that one up, have we? That's why it gone a bit quiet.
Carp a chuck now, isn't it?
Now the big ones arrive, innit? Oh, Andrew.
You knew it, didn't you? Go on, the carpuses is Maximuses is.
Just right. Come on. Oh, missed it.
I thought you had him then,
I thought I had him for a sec then. It's premature netting. Oh! He's like a nice orangey one. I like it when they're this colour.
Beautiful. That's what you get them folks when you look after your meat.
He is perfect example of a short meat fish, isn't it?
Love that.
So it's a bit ugly, but hey ho.
To end it.
Yeah, the ugly ones deserve a chance as well. And a perfect example of a meaty carp later on, but not about that. So it's about keeping things going with meat in it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed my meat video.
I enjoyed your meat video, Jamie, very much. Thank you.
We'll catch up soon. Right, so we hope you are enjoying the video that you're watching. If not, have just watched. But what we'd also like you to see is the packages that we include for our more technical, informational stuff, where what we can bring to you is all we pretty much know about the technical side and our match style side of fishing.
I'm
what
not
we
in
have,
this bit.
you are, of course you are in this bit. We have two sides of things. We have the basic package that for $4.99, you can watch us fish live matches, a Q&A every month, and additional stuff from Matty Dawes with live matches and more technical stuff on his side. Or we have the all access package where you can literally see technical insights, live matches from us, but also some of the best anglers flipping on the planet. I mean, we treat it as 3 days coaching for us, and we go out and we show you what we're learning for anglers like Darren Cox, Andy Bennett, Des Ship, to name but a few. Well worth a look if you fancy having a little bit more fishing content to watch. Oh my God.
Look at her butt. Oh my gosh. Look at her butt. Oh my gosh. Hey.
Oh man, my hands are cold and everything. Right.
How's the
Go, go, go.
Oh. That's missed one on meat cock.